All right, so I want to go into some detail on the salmon ladder, both how to defeat it and how to build it. So in this case, it's actually the double salmon ladder. I actually have metal rungs on one side, and I have wooden rungs on the other side. I'll kind of tell you the pros and cons. Yeah, we'll get into some details here. So there's a couple different techniques to get the salmon ladder done. I'll show you a couple of them, and you can kind of come up with your own what works best for you. So first of all, we have this kind of a pull-up and then a quick extension of the arms as you fall. Not my favorite technique, but I've seen a lot of guys do that. I don't like that at all. So it's just you pull up really high, and then it's a quick boom, pop it higher before your body falls too low to catch the next rung. So the other technique involves the rest of your body a lot more, less on your arms and more your lower body, where you just get this big generating momentum kick, or kip as they call it, to get the bar up. It's still kind of the same principle where you quickly move your hands up, but you'll see what that looks like. Kick your body. So that was not too bad. I kind of actually do a hybrid of the two. So I like to kind of pull up and then use my body as well to kick to the next rung, kick to the next rung. I don't like to use too much body swing because it tends to be a little less in control. So I'll kind of do a hybrid of both. So it's kind of a little bit of a kip. At the same time, I do a nice solid pull-up. Basically, if you can do a solid pull-up without much effort, you should be able to do the salmon ladder. It's just a little bit of tweaking your technique and figuring out your mental game. But eventually, after you practice, you can kick up a couple of rungs without much trouble, skip a rung. So in other words, doing a 2-foot gap. It really doesn't take that much effort to skip a rung. It's more about precision for me. When I'm on the show, there's no way I'm going to try and skip 2 rungs and make a stupid mistake. But it is a good test to see if you're getting stronger or improving. So bottom line is you should be able to get the salmon ladder done without expending too much energy so you can actually continue through the course. It's all about control. Find a grip placement that's comfortable for you. Not too narrow, not too wide, just somewhere that's comfortable. And get it done, get past that mental hurdle, because it's definitely a mental obstacle for sure. Pull-ups, great way to train for this. Just kind of explosive pull-ups, jump up, clap above the bar if you don't have a salmon ladder built already. So let's talk a little bit about specs. Just 1 inch by 1 inch. Just put bolts through them. That is much, much better than the wood. Okay. On the show, they've been using metal. It's shaped like a 2x4 just like this, but it's actually made out of metal, just painted metal. So I actually recommend the metal, not just for durability, but it's a little bit closer to the show. Now, the width from one side to the other is 55 inches. Okay, so 4.5 feet, just about. All right, so 4.5 feet, and that feels about perfect. Okay, it's plenty of room to turn around if you're doing a double salmon ladder. It's nice and spacious. What I would not recommend is the spacing I did on this side, which is slightly narrow, okay, 47 inches, but it also has the block on the inside. This piece of wood is right on the inside, so it makes it that much more narrow. So you feel like you're just really kind of pinched in there. So keep that in mind when you're building it. I also have an aluminum bar here. Okay, so my aluminum bar is 6 feet. Okay, now what I did with my aluminum bar, well, I'll give you some more specs on it here, is I actually have a piece of tape on the end. You can see it's hollow. Okay, but that's not the only cool thing about it. Okay, it's hollow, and let's just get an official measurement here. Looks like it is officially, they call it 1.25 inches. Okay, so 1.25" pipe, and that felt very much, when I was on the salmon ladder on the show, it felt right at home. So that's about right. Now, this aluminum is very sturdy, okay, surprisingly. It's pretty light as well, and for that reason, I actually got this extra pipe. I believe this is a 1-inch pipe, and this one's solid. If you look on the end, it's not hollow. Okay, I don't use this pipe by itself, it's too skinny, but what I'll do is I'll slide this solid pipe inside of the hollow pipe. So same length, I just kind of tape off the end, and what that allows me to do is have a heavier bar without without having to switch everything out. Without having to have a separate bar that's heavier, finding a different material. It's stainless steel. I've tried all kinds of pipes. This aluminum is by far my favorite. So with that heavier insert in there, I would definitely say it's heavier than the show, no question. How much heavier is hard to say, but I can say that it's really nice for some of the rookies to try to train with the lighter bar, and then you can graduate to the heavier bar. Whenever it's appropriate. So I'll train like crazy with the heavy bar, and then just for fun I'll throw the light bar on there, and I can go like almost 3 rungs. I'll go like 2.5 rungs with the light bar, and that's strictly just because I train with the heavier one. One thing about the heavier bar is I would not do the heavier bar on the wooden rungs, simply because you start destroying it. You really do. And you'll notice I have 1 steel rung on this side. That's just because when I transfer to the wood, it would just obliterate it with the heavy bar. So I transfer to the steel just so I don't destroy everything. Otherwise, as far as the framework goes, I mean, do something solid, do something sturdy. I went way overkill. These are like, what, 12 by 12 posts. They're 4 feet in the ground with 2,000 pounds of concrete in on each side. Just ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. Like way overkill. You didn't have to build it that heavy. The other thing is, these previous pegs you see on the outside I had to cut off. It's because they were too wide, so they're about 1 foot wider. It's just really kind of awkward, and my bars would bend. I think this aluminum bar would be fine, but I would not recommend going that wide. Like I said, I've rebuilt this thing a few times, so take it from me. So I'm just trying to save you some time building your salmon ladder. These are 1 foot gaps. Okay, so from right here to right here is 1 foot. Okay, and that felt almost exactly like the show. And you can kind of see the angle there. I don't know the exact angle that I set these at. I just kind of eyeballed it. But I ended up getting it really close. You could just set 1 set up and then kind of hang on it and see how easily you can slide off of it, things like that. Make sure it's not too steep. What you don't want is to lock in like this by being too steep. So that actually was about perfect. I got the aluminum pipe, and a lot of the stuff I have out here, a bunch of the random stuff out here, I got from discountsteel.com. They're decently priced. I just couldn't find this kind of aluminum locally. Questions on how strong this aluminum is. I've extended it out all the way as far as it can go. This is a 6 foot bar with nothing inside of it. This is a hollow 1 1/4 inch bar, and I can just hang from this at the full extension. Check this out. That is the salmon ladder destroyed and the salmon ladder explained as far as specs go and things like that. Hopefully this shortcuts your building process and gives you some information on what to do and what not to do. So anyway, hope this finds you well, and until next time, stay true, ninjas. Stay true, ninjas? What the heck is that?